Many people compare the government's budget to their own household finances, earn, spend, and avoid debt. But this analogy falls apart because households use money, while the government creates it. Imagine a checkbook where every check you write creates new money. Fantastical for us. But reality, for a currency-issuing government like the US. The US government can never run out of dollars or go broke in its own currency. It doesn't need to collect taxes or borrow before spending. This flips our usual thinking about government finance on its head. Politicians warn about national debt as if it's a maxed-out credit card, but that's misleading. Government spending actually creates the money we use in the economy. When the government pays for a bridge or sends social security checks, it's adding new money to the system. Taxes don't fund spending. Instead, they create demand for the currency and help control inflation. The real constraint isn't money, but the economy's capacity, its people, resources, and output. This is a radical shift in perspective. Understanding this difference is key to rethinking what's possible with public spending. The government's budget is not like yours or mine. It's a tool for managing the economy, not a household checkbook. This changes how we should think about deficits, debt, and what government can do. Modern monetary theory, or MMT, describes how a sovereign currency system really works. A government that issues its own money can't run out of it. Its limits are real resources, not dollars. The real question isn't how will we pay for it, but do we have the people and materials to do it? If resources are idle, government spending can put them to work without causing inflation. MMT reframes deficits. The government's deficit is the private sector's surplus. Surpluses mean the government is taking more out than it puts in, shrinking private savings. The goal isn't to balance the budget but to balance the economy, full employment and stability. The real focus should be using public money to build a more prosperous, equitable society. The main concern with MMT is inflation. What stops the government from printing too much? MMT recognizes inflation as the real limit, not money itself. Inflation happens when too much money chases too few goods. If government spending outpaces the economy's capacity, prices rise. The solution? Use taxes and other tools to cool the economy if it overheats. Taxes remove money from circulation, easing inflation. MMT isn't a blank check. It demands responsible, evidence-based policy focused on real resources. The goal is full employment and price stability, not arbitrary budget targets. If governments can create money freely, people worry about inflation and look for safer stores of value. Hard assets, like gold, real estate, and now Bitcoin, are limited in supply and can't be printed. Gold has been a store of value for centuries because it's rare and durable. Real estate is limited by land, and Bitcoin is capped at 21 million coins. These assets are seen as hedges against inflation and currency debasement. When governments create lots of money, people often move savings into hard assets, hoping to preserve value. As money supply grows, prices of scarce assets tend to rise. Owning hard assets is a defensive strategy against inflation. It's about protecting purchasing power when confidence in currency wavers. Hard assets offer a hedge if government spending goes too far. They're a way to diversify and safeguard wealth. History warns us about the dangers of unchecked money creation. Think Weimar Germany, Zimbabwe, or Venezuela. In these cases, hyperinflation followed massive money printing, but the context matters. Weimar Germany printed money to pay foreign debts after war, not to fund domestic programs. Zimbabwe's crisis followed a collapse in productive capacity, especially agriculture. By contrast, U.S. spending during World War II mobilized idle resources, ending the Great Depression and fueling prosperity. The lesson: printing money isn't always bad. It depends on why and how it's done. If a government spends to mobilize real resources, it can drive growth. Understanding these distinctions is crucial for smart policy and debate. So where does this leave us? MMT shows government can use its currency power for public good, but hard assets hedge against misuse and inflation. Understanding both is key for protecting your wealth and navigating today's economy. MMT helps us see new policy possibilities, but it requires responsible management. Many people balance trust in the system with personal insurance, owning some gold, real estate, or Bitcoin. Diversifying across assets and philosophies is smart. Financial literacy, today, means knowing how money works and how to protect yourself. By grasping both MMT and hard assets, you can make better decisions for your future and advocate for a stable, prosperous society.